So, hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome. Great lunch. Okay, this is not mine either. I'm going backwards. That's why. Haha. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Welcome. Welcome so much after lunch. Thank you, everybody who stuck around. And no thank you, everyone who did not, although you can't hear me. So, today I'm going to be talking about ethics and creativity. And I know y'all are wondering why you're looking at a blank screen and whether I'm just stalling and killing time and when I'm going to get started. Now, okay, here we go. Going backwards again. All right, so the name of my talk is Say It With Your Chest. Claiming Space in the Pop Culture Void. Okay? So, welcome, and welcome. All right, so how many people saw Rogue One, A Star Wars Story? Raise your hand if you saw it. Okay, so keep your hand up if you also saw The Force Awakens. Okay, keep your hand up if you saw the original trilogy. Okay, keep your hands up if you saw the prequel trilogy. For everybody whose hands are still up, I'm so sorry. I am with you. We suffered this together. But, okay, so the reason I bring up Rogue One is because in the official trailer number 2, there was a little tiny snippet. And it made me equally excited and furious at the same time. And the same thing happened to me when I saw Wonder Woman. Who's seen Wonder Woman? Everybody? Nobody? Some people? A few? Okay, cool, Wonder Woman. And it happened to me again when I saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Who saw that one? Any Potterheads in here? Okay. All right, House Ravenclaw, rapid, here we go. So who thinks that they could just write, I'm pretty sure all of us could write a quick 300-word commentary on any of these movies. And it's easy, all of us can write, and that's cool. But what sets you apart from everybody else? What makes your writing stand out from other people's writing? And it's simple because all that you need to stand out is you, your voice, you. And we're gonna come back to the whole Rogue One, Wonder Woman, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them conversation a little bit later. And we're gonna come back to what bringing you to a piece looks like. All right, so also sidebar, this is gonna be a really nerdy talk. On a scale of 1 to 10, being that we started with Wonder Woman, with Star Wars, and with a Harry Potter reference, I'd put it on about, scale of 1 to 10, let's say 20. We'll go with 20. 20's good. Okay? Sorry, not sorry. All right, back to our talk. All right, so who am I? I am just your friendly neighborhood queer black nerd. Yes, y'all, I'm a gift. Shut up. Hey! All right. My name is Brittany Nicole Williams because I was born in the 80s to an Alvin and the Chipmunks fan, and yes, that's really real. I'm an actor, writer, and the marketing and public relations specialist with Black Nerd Problems. Now, your next question is, what is Black Nerd Problems? All right. Boom. Black Nerd Problems, our logo. Hello. And that's not us. There we go. That's us. Hello. See all those lovely people? And you might recognize this skirt because it's my favorite. All right, so Black Nerd Problems, we are a nerd culture site for the diverse geek. I like to say that we spit literary fire at the convergence of the black and brown experience and nerd culture. And we're loud, we're rowdy, we're opinionated, and just like Twista, we gotta get these bars off. So y'all know who Twista is? Who knows Twista? Twista? Yes, okay, for the people who don't know, okay, here we go. So Twista is a rapper who's known for his rapid fire lyrical flow. In 1992, he got the Guinness World Record for the fastest rapper, meaning that he could spit bars at 11.9 syllables per second, which is real fast. That's real fast, right? That's fast. Right? Who knew that? Nobody. Thank you. You're welcome. So, Black Nerd Problems was founded in 2014 by these two lookers, Omar Holman and William Evans III. You can tell they're nerds by their shirts, and you can tell that they're black by the melanin. So Will and Omar agreed on one thing. The main black nerd problem is an issue with how nerd culture is reported and how we're represented in the very things that we love. So they noticed that a lot of these big sites and a lot of the coverage and a lot of the content was real white. So we got Screen Rant, white. IGN, white. AV Club, white. After the Thrones, white. Talking Dead, white. Screen Junkies, white. And Geeks and Sundry, white. So it's like, on May 15th, 2014, this Batman and Superman of Black nerds, they decided to gather this veritable Justice League of literary loudmouths, and they brought us together and they formed Black Nerd Problems. So one of the beautiful things about Black Nerd Problems is that we don't code switch. Now, code switching, for many Black people especially, is this method of camouflage. It's where we strip all of our slang, our colloquialisms, all of our elisions, anything that makes our speech pattern individual to us. We strip that from ourselves to better fit into the dominant culture, which in this case is white culture. And it's a cover, it's exhausting, and it also supports the idea that the way we naturally speak is wrong, and that African-American vernacular English in particular is antithetical to intelligent discourse, which, that ain't right, we know it's not, it's dumb. So our editor-in-chief, Will, he actually encourages everyone at Black Nerd Problems to write the way we speak. And it also goes for our video content, which means you get stuff like, give me 1 second, there we go. Nope, that's it. We got a little slow down here. You get stuff like, nope, we're going, just give it a second. Technology, you guys, we know how it is. The technological rebellion. Thanks, Skynet. All right. Yes, no. Yes, okay. Pause. I wonder if it's gonna stop. We'll see. Okay, so you get things like this video, which is a video about why Simba from The Lion King is trash. Landfill, basura, trash. Because he is. He is. If you really think about the movie, like, everybody in Pride Rock is dying, and he's off singing Hakuna Matata and eating bugs, so trash. You also get why, the title of this video exactly was, why my black ass would have been hated at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, because when you really think about it, Magneto had some good points, y'all. He had some good points. Not all of them, but he had a couple good points, just a couple. And so we also had this one, which, what my black ass would have done if I lived in Monterey, California, because to quote Jordan exactly, yo, Big Little Lies is my shit! We love that. It's good. It's good stuff. Okay, and also we have this lovely review of the movie Slight. And what I loved about this in particular is we spent about 10 minutes rating this movie based on middle school level science projects. So one person gave it 2 socked feet sliding across the carpet and zapping somebody with static electricity. We had 2 baking soda vinegar volcanoes. It was not a good movie, by the way. That's why we gave it 2 of everything. Okay. So just to let you guys know, so these are a couple of my articles to show how we don't code switch. So the lovely movie, The Killing Joke, I wrote this in about an hour because that movie was trash. So I'm really proud of this opening paragraph. So I'm gonna just get right to it. The Killing Joke movie was trash, bruh. Straight flaming dumpster outside the 24-hour McDonald's at 4 a.m. in the high heat of summer trash. Bourbon Street, the morning after Mardi Gras, hot garbage, piss, and vomit cocktail. We know, we watched it. That's time in my life I'm never gonna get back. Bruce Timm owes you, me, Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, and Mark Hamill an apology for this movie. It's upsetting me and my homegirl, because if you can't go to the DCAU, where the hell can you go? We can't let this slide, beloved, so get ready to take these L's. And then it's just a whole article of us taking the movie apart, because it was terrible. Don't watch it, save yourself. Don't watch it. Okay. Next, we have, so I wrote a love piece to the Broadway musical Shuffle Along, or the making of the making of the musical sensation of 1921 and all that followed. Yes, that's the full title. Shuffle Along, or the making of the musical sensation of 1921 and all that followed. And every time in the article, I have to say the whole title because they deserve that respect. So, Started out with, ball so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know the don't shit phase me. Ali could be 6 months along and kick her face like this shit gravy. So whenever you write a top 5 dead or alive piece, you have to start each of your 5 points with a rap lyric because that's how you do. So, Team Shuffle Along, or The Making of the Musical Sensation of 1921 and all that followed, is delivering on the talent. Golden anointed throats, spilling forth buttery notes smoother than the chocolate cake Mrs. Trunchbull made old boy eating Matilda. And if you don't know what a throat is, I'll explain. A throat is a throat that has been blessed by all the gods and muses, vocal cords that have reached their final form. These voices are over 9,000! And when Mitsuki in Full Moon wo Sagashite wished for a new voice, God gave her what? I know that's real obscure, y'all. Just hang with me, stick with me. We're going to get back on track. Wished for a new voice, God gave her one that matched somebody's from this cast. And when you have a tap national treasure so fly, Nicolas Cage tried to steal him, hooking up your choreo, you know it's going to be fleeky. Go ahead and shuffle your basic old time step off to Buffalo. The sounds these dancers coax from metal-tipped shoes on a wooden floor will have Michael Flatley scratching his head. Formation game so strong, I'm surprised Beyonce hasn't pulled some bits for her concert tour. And I promise y'all that show was that good. And also, this is the one that's closest to my heart. An open letter to Supergirl Superman, boy, you got a donk. Because if you saw any pictures of Tyler Hoechlin in this costume, you know he had a big booty. And the fact that my editor, our editor-in-chief, let me write an article that's just praising someone's butt. And it got real popular too. It got very popular. And I got to unironically write the line, Superman's booty is taking over for the 99 and the 2000. And just in all sincerity, because it was. If you get to Google it or read my article and you will see, because there's a picture in the article, you will see and you will believe and you will agree. And just to give you another couple titles that to show you what we work with. My first article was called I Found My People, Wakanda Simply Doesn't Give a Fuck. An open letter to Beyonce at the 2017 Grammys. How fucking dare you? Because she was amazing. And an open letter to Beauty and the Beast. Square up. The original title was An Open Letter to Beauty and the Beast. Square the fuck up. But our particular editor that day thought it was overboard, so had to take the fuck out. So, sorry, my slides are going crazy. Hey. All right, so let me just take a pause here real quick. First off, this GIF is rude as hell. You see, like, they actually stopped and let him shoot his 3, so that's rude as hell. Right? It's so rude. It's my favorite. I love it. One thing I want you guys to come away from this talk is, or a big thing I want you to come away from this talk with is that it's not about talking like us. It's not about like using buzzwords and slang that you hear on Twitter to sell yourself or sell your writing. And it's definitely not about appropriating another culture's mannerisms to sell or make yourself more interesting. It's about writing like you. Like that's all you need to tell yourself apart, like yourself. Like just think about what are you passionate about and how you would talk about it. And think about how you would talk to your closest friend. What would you say to them? What words would you use? What does that version of you sound like? And as long as that version of you is not bigoted or racist, then we're good. If it is, just take that self and go into your prayer closet and have a little talk and figure some things out. And then we'll be good. We'll be good. Okay? We cool? Good? Okay. All right, so now as much fun as we get into, right? No, it is, read the article, great points in there. It is the blackest Disney movie of all time. So now as much fun as we have writing stuff like this, we don't just give you soft writing, we dig deeper. So we'll talk about how we felt the blackest joy while we were playing Pokemon Go, but we'll also talk about how honestly, playing that game as a black man in America might get you killed. We'll talk about why a Goofy movie was the blackest Disney movie ever, and we'll talk about what it's like being a mother and also being a nerd, and we'll talk about scientific classifications of different levels of thirst because they need to be scientifically classified. It's another great article. Y'all need to be writing these down. Go to the site after and read them. They're great. And that's in my biased opinion. So, and we'll also talk about how we talk about things like the extrajudicial execution of cosplayer Darian Hunt and what that felt like as a Black nerd to see one of our own killed for just doing things that we love doing. And then we'll also give you things like a reading list of every piece of literature offered up in the series Luke Cage. Because if you want to read that, because they offered up a lot, you can go ahead and check that out. And we wax poetic about I wax poetic about Beyonce at the Grammys and how fabulous she looked in her baby pump and in that golden dress with her face on the front and her dancers in the chair that flipped back and how her boobs looked like honey buns and it was amazing. Because when I say fandom, we cover a wide range of fandoms, including the Beehive, which is all of us. So, okay, now we're going to jump back into Rogue One real quick. So I said that there was something in this trailer that made me equally ecstatic and angry. And it was a short clip, maybe like 4 or 5 seconds. And there was a woman, a Black woman. And it was a Black woman who looked like a Black woman, who looked human, and she had lines. And that was the first time in 8 Star Wars movies. It's about to be 9 Star Wars movies. That was the first time I saw someone who actually looked like me in this film series that I loved. And then cut to the movie, and it turns out that the 4 or 5 seconds of her that we saw in that trailer was all that she existed in that movie. I can't even name her. I don't even know her name, and I was checking for her. And then I got the same thing when I watched Wonder Woman, and I definitely got the same thing with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is set in New York in the 1920s. And they even go to a speakeasy with nobody. But at the speakeasy, there is a black-coated goblin jazz singer, which was super weird and pretty offensive. And it's wild that in 2017 we have this. So on top of us being authentic to ourselves, we also have to hold up a critical lens to the things we love and the things we consume. And especially because the media doesn't always do that. Like, did you guys ever notice that how on The Walking Dead, which we love, well, they love, there can never be more than 2 Black men on this series at a time. Yes, it's like Highlander for Black men. There can only be one. So, or I don't know if anybody noticed how when the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast was coming out, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this exclusively gay moment. And I was like, nope, it's gonna be trash. And what was it? Trash. 1, because words mean things. And 2, whenever somebody hypes something up like that, you know it's not gonna be enough. It's not. And we are very dedicated to showing the creators, the directors, the writers, the producers, and other nerds that these crumbs that we keep getting thrown aren't enough. So we don't just cover, like we have queer people we have queer people of color in our writers, and so we cover a wide range. As many places where we see a void of us, we speak on it in live tweets, we speak on it in our articles, we speak on it in our videos, we speak on it in person, we speak on it at cons. We want to make sure that we make noise, and we're going to keep making noise. And a lot of these other sites were not doing that. So we stepped up because where there's a void, we're going to fill it in. We're going to take that over. And we needed to say it in our own voices because that's the truth. And because there's a Black nerd out there who is feeling isolated and alone and like there's no one else they can talk to. There's no one else who understands what they're going through. And all they need to do is see one of our articles, see one of our videos, see something that we do, and they know that there's a community out there, and that's what matters. And I know because it happened to me. So thank you so much, guys. Wonderful talk.